Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's facts, taking big swings, jam to the back, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short, so I wanna live real good, I was exposed to fear.
In the hole, he's down the left sideline, one man to beat. It's a reverse to Ruland. Ruland's got a man wide open. Oh my goodness!
I was exposed to fear. They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah, but I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy.
Well, I'm ready when you are. Oh, we're up. The section finals, where memories are made and legacies begin. We're here at Orono High School, live on the Orono Activities YouTube channel for the Section 6 Class 4A final between the Orono Spartans and the Zimmerman Thunder. The winner will play in the quarterfinals next week at Osseo. Winner to be determined, the matchup to be determined, but Jody Raylander, my partner for tonight, one thing will be determined, and that is who is the representative from this section. You have Orono, who's been getting it done by committee since Liam Rogers was out with an injury, and for Zimmerman, most of their offense runs through one man, Caden Spence. It's an interesting contrast. How do you think that's going to play out here tonight?
Boy, when we saw Orono a couple weeks ago, MEA week, they were looking pretty good on the ground. So I anticipate a lot of trench warfare. I think if Orono can keep Caden Spence just a little bit of check, they'll have a good time. Otherwise, it's going to be a long night for the Orono defense.
And that won't be easy to do because Caden Spence, he is averaging 10 yards a carry. He is 38 rushing yards away from 2,000 for the season. Second in the state in rushing yards, third in rushing touchdowns. This guy can run the football and do it well.
Big, strong, fast. Can't ask for much more from your starting running back.
Orono won the toss. They deferred. And we'll get names and numbers as we move along. In fact, I may need a quarter to get settled in. I'll explain in a moment as Zimmerman makes this kick return. That's Matthew Freeberg, number 18, looking
he's
for a
got a
seam down the
lane.
right side, and he'll be taken out close to midfield.
Orono looking a little tentative on that kick coverage. We'll hope that's not a trend.
And as I said, I might need a quarter or two to get my bearings because I came over from state soccer. We had the schedule run long because of a couple of extra time games. The De La Salle Islanders winning their first ever state championship in boys soccer over Hill Murray in Class 2A.
You are the busiest man in prep sports, I think, Mr. Peden.
I don't know. The Care 11 photographers might have something to say about that on a night like this. 1st and 10 for the Thunder. It's a run up the middle, and that goes not far, maybe a couple of yards on forward progress.
Stuffed. Nice penetration there. Lots of blue jerseys in the middle for Orono defense.
And that is the one drawback when you have your offense run through one guy. If Orono is able to contain Spence, that could complicate the situation for the Thunder. It's 2nd and 8. And there's Spence. He's met up in the backfield for a loss of 1.
2 plays, net just about 0 yardage.
And we talked about how prolific he is. The fewest amount of rushing yards he's picked up in a game, 124. And Zimmerman staying no huddle on this first series. But it's 3rd and 9 following the 1-yard loss. Passing play, and the pass is overthrown. Intended for number 84, Davis Artesensi Schemi. And it will be a 3 and out for the Thunder. That's a good defensive stance for the Orono Spartans. Ruland on the coverage.
Ruland showing that they are ready and on the attack there in the secondary. Nice little reminder that going up for a pass is not always the wisest decision.
Well, it was 3rd and 9.
Mm-hmm.
Not a whole lot of plays in that down and distance. So 3 and out for the Spartans. Punk gets away. Grenagle will play it on the hop.
Risky.
That was a risky move. Doesn't pick up a whole lot of yardage, but Orono takes over just outside the 25.
You see why he thought he had the chance to do that, because the coverage unit was still 2 to 3 yards away from him when he got the ball, but still highly risky.
We'll see what Orono does. Like we said all season, their record a bit deceiving. They play a lot of 5A schools. Remember, they won a total of 2 regular season games last year and then went all the way to the state semifinals in Class 4A. Charles Kraus, the quarterback, go ahead.
And Zimmerman coming off of a surprise victory against top seed Mandustanka.
Well, when you have Caden Spence, you can do a lot of things.
Great play.
And a big play. Nash Ticky on the first play from scrimmage for the Spartans gets it to midfield for a pickup of 25.
Oh, Nash Ticky doing what he does best. Catching the ball, turning around, and then just making something happen. The hesitation he showed got him about 4 or 5 more yards on the end of that run.
Ticky entering this game, just 226 yards receiving, but as we said, Orono, their primary method of attack, running back by committee. But they can go to the air if needed. 1st and 10 from midfield. Screen. Pass is caught. Charlie Cortis, who picks up a solid gain. Was that Cortis? No, that was Perkins. I got the 8 and the 6 mixed up.
It's hard to see. It's long distance from here. Yep.
And that sound you heard is my chance at an Upper Midwest Emmy going out the window. But it's a 9-yard pickup for George Perkins in his first year on varsity.
Twin plays to the opposite sides of the field for Orono in their first offensive 4A. Looking pretty good so far, marching right down the field.
25 and 9 yards. They've already picked up 34 yards in the air. 2nd and 1. 5 on the play clock. They get the play off. Grenagle on the carry, and he'll pick up enough for the first down. A gain of 3.
Nice play by the linebackers for Zimmerman there. Not getting pushed back, holding their ground, and then just finding the tackle for a couple yards. But Orono gets the first down.
Grenagle averaging 4.7 yards per carry entering this game. Again, Liam Rogers was the primary guy, but an injury has sidelined him, so Grenagle, Tiki, Brulin, they've all been pitching in since then. 1st and 10. Player in motion. It's Owen Barkley. And Orono picks up a yard on that play to Grenagle.
11, Joey Greenhagle. Tackle at number 5, Luke Poole, and number 50, Drayton Wibidow. Short gain on the play, 2nd and 9.
Poole and Wibidow in the tackle for Zimmerman. Despite the motion, not fooled by the attempted misdirection.
That would summarize how my attempts at a misdirection would go if I were playing. I don't think I'd fool anybody. I might run in the opposite direction. 2nd and 9 for the Spartans as they look to continue this march downfield. Grenagle on another carry, looking for the edge. He's got it, and he's got the first down.
Number 11, Greenhagle, ball carrier. Gain of 10 on the play. Gain of 8 on the play.
Orono's early strategy.
Oh, no. That's a weird spot.
Yeah,
I thought he
very
had
short.
it.
Well, you never know where he steps out. It is the far side of the field. Orono looking to be attacking the edges repeatedly as we get going here. I like the strategy. They're moving the ball well.
Well, it's still an 8-yard pickup. You'll take that because it gives you 3rd and 1. And I'm going to retrain myself as a spotter. A run up the gut, and Zimmerman got to him. It's close to a first down, and at this end of the field, this stage of it, you're probably going to go for it on 4th down anyway.
I think so. One thing you're taught as a running back is that initial contact, spin off or keep driving your feet or do something and get that extra little yard. It just wasn't enough for the first down.
Orono going no huddle. It's a keeper for Kraus, and he's got it.
Yes. First down, Orono.
Gets a yard. That's going to be another Orono.
So we were proven correct on that first down. It just took a couple of extra plays to get there.
Right.
Kraus with a rushing touchdown to his credit. Minus 15 yards on the season, but he picks up a couple there, so that negative integer will decrease a little bit.
And when you can get those short yardage first downs early on, that's a huge momentum boost for your O-line.
Absolutely. We'll see if they can continue that boost on 1st and 10 here. Kraus with protection. Now he's under pressure, has to get rid of it, and the pass falls incomplete. Perkins, the intended receiver.
Really impressive on both sides of the ball there. Stick-to-itiveness. Sometimes when the play breaks down and the quarterback's scrambling, the defense can pull off the receivers and allow something great to happen for the offense. But that time, defensive stuck with the secondary and just was there to knock the ball away at the end.
Did you say stick-to-itiveness?
I did say stick-to-itiveness.
I did not know that was a word.
I'm making stuff up.
2nd and 10. Grenagle finds a hole and picks up a few yards. A late flag comes in.
Ooh.
It came from the far sideline.
Possibly a hold. The seam that Grenagle had did appear to open up a little weirdly. And it is a hold.
So that will push Orono back 10 yards. Stick-to-itiveness, where did you come up with that word? That's what I want to find out.
I think I read it in a book somewhere.
I've heard of co-opetition.
Co-opetition, oh wow, okay.
That was a word Darrell Waltrip coined in NASCAR as a broadcaster,
Sure.
but stick-to-itiveness or
yes.
stick-tuition.
Gumption also.
2nd and 20 following the holding
Ooh,
call.
pass. Little screen.
Screen to Perkins, although Kraus was under
Oh,
pressure. Perkins
he's
finds
got
a seam,
room!
and he'll pick up a huge chunk of yardage. Looks like he's just short of the first down, but that is a terrific 2nd down play for the Spartans.
Good job, Orono offense, taking advantage of the pretty much everyone coming on Zimmerman for that play, and then just outrunning up the far sideline.
That is a benefit if you can escape the pressure. If Zimmerman or any opponent sends a blitz at you, you get past that first line, you're going to pick up a whole lot of yards. So 3rd and short. And a timeout. Called by Orono.
Interesting.
6:51 left in the first quarter. And this will be our final broadcast of the 2022 season because NSPN, who I just finished calling state soccer for, they covered the state tournament rounds, and then KSTC, of course, handles the championship round. So this will be the last time we see you in this capacity. But perhaps you'll see Jody and I call some football in the next week or so.
It's true.
I've got some pull, but how about Orono here? Converting a 4th and short. They had 2nd and 20 following the hold, and then that quick screen to Perkins for a pickup of 19 gives them 3rd and 1 here.
For an initial drive in a section final, I don't think you could really ask for much more. Good work getting into a groove, seeing what works, testing the opponent's defense, see what happens here on 3rd and short.
You are within range for Schwendeman if you don't convert here, but this may be 4-down territory nonetheless.
I would think so.
3rd and 1. Kraus under center. Pitch to Grenagel, looking to find the edge, and a flag.
Oh, is that a...
Brock Snow with the tackle, short of the line to gain. But we have a flag.
Pretty sure hold, yep.
And it is. Usually when it's in the backfield like that, that's not a good sign.
Yeah, so the umpire there on the left standing behind the line, that's his job to watch for the hold as the play crosses his face. And sure enough, he found one.
Zimmerman will take the penalty. And Orono will have 3rd and 11.
Not insurmountable, but certainly more than you wanted in this part of the field.
And Zimmerman probably electing to take the penalty for field position.
Play action.
Kraus
Oh boy.
under duress. The throw is incomplete. Perkins couldn't catch up in time. Now, 4th down, you probably go for it here because a field goal would be about 45 yards. They might pooch it here, though.
See what happens. There's some substitution happening, so.
Yeah, Singleton, Barkley, and Logan Chappelle all going in. Yeah, this is just outside Schwendeman's range. So Orono will go for it. I suspect a passing play on 4th and 11. Play action. Kraus in trouble again, and he's dropped.
Oh, Zimmerman comes up big on the 4th down stop.
Rocco Olson. And Zimmerman will get solid field position.
They got about 10 more yards than they would have with that sack where it happened.
So Orono's drive stalls. How much have we talked about holding penalties and how they kill drives? There's another example.
Absolutely. Just stop your momentum dead in its tracks.
So Zimmerman will take over at the 38-yard line.
Nice loud Zimmerman crowd here tonight, too, so that's enjoyable.
Well, it's a section final. It's going to draw a big crowd. And the first play is a handoff to Brock Snow, who picks up a few yards as he runs to the right. Ticky with the tackle. Snow picks up 3. Rocco Olson. A stoppage in play. Olson, by my count, picked up his first sack of the season on that last play. Not quite sure what that stoppage was about, but we have 2nd and 7.
Appeared to be some kind of sideline warning, but
nothing was announced,
Yep.
and great penetration by number 42, Mason Pankinen. And Luke Poole goes backwards. They go back to the 38.
Yeah, he had a lead blocker, but just could not get position on that hard charging defender coming through, and nice tackle.
And Mason Pankinen, 5'11", 170, played a lot bigger there, 3rd and 10. Play action, going to the left
Gotta
for
set.
Spence, and the pass is overthrown. So another 3 and out for the Thunder, and Orono's defense not giving up anything. 2 3 and outs and a total of 1 yard in 2 possessions. Go ahead.
Victor Ruland coming up again big on defense on 3rd down for Orono.
And Orono coming up big again, just 1 yard allowed against one of the most prolific running backs in the state. We'll see if Grenagel plays this one. That punt almost blocked. This time, Orono.
No.
No, that was down. How would that have worked out? Because you're not supposed to touch it, and Zimmerman did, so I think that wouldn't the play be dead right there?
It would. That would be
so
a dead ball.
Orono could have danced. They could have played Ring Around the Rosie or Hot Potato with it. And they still would have.
Right, and it still would have been right there, dead ball.
Hot potato was the word. Ring Around the Rosie. That'd be weird to do with a football.
It kind of would, because I don't know that you'd really be touching the football. It'd be in the middle, and you'd be in a ring around it.
Can you tell I'm not a kid anymore? I can't even remember what game. I'm getting rusty here. 1st and 10 from the 31 as Orono takes over. Their last drive stalled after a couple of holding penalties. It's a screen.
Oh, great tackle.
Victor Ruland went nowhere. And a flex from Brock Snow on the TFL.
Well-deservedly a flex on that play. That was a great read of the play, great speed getting out there in the flat, one of the toughest open field tackles to make.
An 8-yard loss for the Spartans, and it's 2nd and 18. In the air, by the way, Charlie Krause, 16 touchdowns, 6 interceptions on the season. 1,350 passing yards. Entering this game, Ruland on the carry. He'll pick up a big chunk of that yardage back. Sprinting down the left side, and 2nd and 18 becomes 3rd and manageable.
Yards after catch, significant for Orono so far.
A 16-yard pickup, that makes it 3rd and 2. And if you're Orono, don't hold.
Right.
A couple of holding penalties undid their efforts on the last series. Dickey in motion, moves over to the right side. Now he goes
Back
behind. Ruland on the carry, met at the line, short gain, and I think he got a punt here.
I'm not sure whether it's the Spartans being a little bit flat-footed here early or just the Thunder being so aggressive up there up front. But Zimmerman is beating Orono off the ball nearly all the time on defense.
And we've got ourselves a defensive duel developing here at Pessenden Stadium.
Play-o football. Typical shield formation for the Spartans.
One of many section games taking place tonight. It's a busy night in high school football all around. This one.
Line drive with a good roll.
Yes. And that punt works out in Orono's favor. Zimmerman will have to start their next series inside the 15.
Seeing Caden Spence go Ironman football. He's also playing corner tonight, so we'll see if he can keep up that high level of activity. Corner's not known for not a lot of running.
Ironman football, do you think he has repulsor rays in that jersey of his?
Repulsor rays. Better than photon torpedoes, I suppose.
How do we go from repulsor rays to photon torpedoes? I was trying to guide you to an MCU reference. You went Star Trek on me. That's it. I'm going to have to do a slingshot around the sun, go back in time, and fix the timeline.
Make it so. Yeah,
I did dress up as Picard for Halloween last weekend. 1st and 10 for the Thunder as they look to spring their way forward, but they have had a hard time doing it. Well, no, the pile's still moving.
Sideways, though.
Snow will get it to the 22-yard line. I should say the 17. 2nd and 6.
I think we're seeing more of Snow than Spence in the backfield to start here. No.
I wasn't sure if that was an RPO or not, but Nash Dickey blew up the play.
Seemed like a wildcat.
Caden Spence.
Direct
Yep.
snap to Spence, yep.
Now, right, Caden Spence. Again, I'm still getting names and numbers down here, having to come over from state soccer, but
Yep.
once again,
2 lead blockers and no fooling Orono's defense.
and that will make it 3rd and 6. No gain on that last play. The rush defense of Orono.
Spence in motion, pitch out.
And that play's not going to go far. Orono, they've got Spence's number, and they're staying on him. So even though Zimmerman's rush defense is able to get a step on Orono, the Spartans are matching them play for play.
And Ticky in there again on 3rd down for a tackle.
3 possessions for the Thunder, 3 straight 3-and-outs.
Very much a back and forth. Even though each team's been trying to move the ball on offense, no real winner yet.
Well, someone will have to because we can't end this in a tie.
Oh, boy.
Short punt. Oh, Grenagle muffed it.
Yep. So
Zimmerman takes over.
up here in the booth, the PA guys said, "Oh, we could see it coming," and you absolutely could, because he was moving as he tried to catch it, and you could see he was more concerned about where the defenders were than he was about catching the ball. And you always, always, always have to catch the ball before you do anything else with it.
My other thought was, if you're worried about that, that might be the time to say fire, fire, just let it bounce away and let your
Correct.
offense do the work.
Or fair catch it or something. Yes.
Grenagle, he's been risking it a couple of times on these punt returns, and that time it burned him. So Zimmerman takes over, and Spence picks up his first big rushing play of this game on a 9-yard pickup.
Could see some of the emotion that playoff football inspires at the end of that play. Spence stiff-arming and not willing to go out of bounds without a fight. That was the first significant yardage that the Thunder has gotten on the ground.
And it comes off the first big play for the Thunder, recovering the muffed punt. Standard I formation for Zimmerman. Snow goes to Spence on the pitch. Spence with the first down, breaking tackles, and the ball is loose.
Oh, my gosh.
Zimmerman, I think, fell on it. They did.
Yes, Zimmerman recovers.
That was close.
Well, we will not lack for excitement here tonight, Mr. Peden.
So officially a 17-yard pickup. But Spence, I know he's closing in on 2,000 yards, but you've got to be careful.
Yeah. Nifty little pitch out, though, well executed. Here comes the other way.
That time it's number 18, Matthew Freeberg on the carry. He gets it to the 22-yard line for a gain of 5, and that is where Zimmerman will start their next play. In a quick-moving first quarter, Zimmerman marching downfield, hoping to capitalize off that turnover. We're still scoreless at the end of 1.
Freeberg and Spence doing it last week against Mountain West Tonka, but tonight it's Snow and Spence. So Zimmerman looking to shake it up a little bit tonight.
And Freeberg, a capable running back in his own right, 7.6 yards per carry, just 473 yards entering this game. Of course, Spence 38 away from 2,000 prior to tonight's game. So even though Caden Spence draws the bulk of attention for Zimmerman, Matt Freeberg not too shabby himself. So Zimmerman, they get it done on the ground, and that's what they're hoping to do on 2nd and 5. And that Zimmerman win over Mount West Tonka, that was notable because there was a story on the Whitehawks, and I will discuss that in more detail after this next play.
Well, anytime the top seed falls, it's something.
Well, that's postseason sports for you. There are no guarantees. This time it's a keeper for Snow.
Ooh.
And he is tackled by number 33, Gage Croct.
And sometimes that's the lumps you take when you try to run those little pitch out RPO type plays to one side or the other. If you don't pitch it, you do set yourself up for a pretty good crunching.
3rd and 3, though, and this could be 4-down territory for Zimmerman.
I almost certainly.
Especially with Spence in that backfield. He's in motion. Snow
Pass.
looking for a pass, wants to find
Nope.
somebody, but instead he overthrows Matthew Freeberg. And interesting 4th down call here. The field goal would be about 38 yards.
Had the man open there in on the right side, just overthrew him.
And Zimmerman, not a whole lot of reps in the air. Snow, just 488 passing yards. 4th and 3. And another fumble.
Nope.
And Orono, whoever recovers it, it doesn't matter. Zimmerman, they played with fire a few plays ago, and a fumbled snap ends their drive.
This is such a back and forth game. Wow. But you have to go back to fundamentals. If you're going to fumble, if you're going to get yourselves in turnover trouble and be on the bottom side of that ratio, going to be very hard to win a playoff game.
So 11:15 to go. Orono catches a break. Jody, this is insanity.
Unexpected, yes. I thought for sure we'd have some kind of score by now.
Well, it's the defense, and then a couple of fumbles, a muff punt. Pass is caught by number 83, Hunter Fox, and he'll pick up a few extra yards after the catch.
Great play, well executed, nice little dump out to the side, a mid-range route, and then just, again, try to let your player make something happen. And about 6-7 yards after the initial catch. He stepped out a little sooner than we thought.
Still an 8-yard gain, though.
Yep.
2nd and 2. That opens up the playbook for the Spartans. And Kraus will keep it.
Oh, and get the first down.
So that's the 2nd time he's run a keeper. They needed 2. He got them 2.5, but will give it 2 or 3. Well, 3. He got it to the 32.
Yep, move the chains.
I thought he got 2.5, but we don't do halves. So Orono hoping to string some plays together, get themselves a quality drive.
Possibly a blitz there on the left side, yep.
And not much there, no gain on the play as the tackle was made by Dylan Weller, number 60.
Interestingly, it was not the blitzer, it was the player on the outside of the blitzer who came in and sliced through for that tackle.
Well, they do give him a yard on that, so it's 2nd and 9. I've learned this year just how tricky it is to figure out where the ball is spotted when you're an official.
It is.
Kraus under center on 2nd down. Play
Oh, boy.
action, gets rid of it, and the pass is incomplete, but
Probably
maybe
just as well.
you're right, because Sticky wasn't going to go anywhere
No.
with Matthew Freeberg on top of him, and it's 3rd and 9.
Really impressed by both teams' ability to sniff out what the offense is trying to do and cover all of the options. Now, as the game progresses, someone's going to make a mistake. That's always what happens. But so far, both teams on defense really on top of the misdirections, the play actions. Very impressive.
Except you never made a mistake, right? In your 23 years with the Vixen?
Absolutely perfect. Yep.
No holding calls, no bad
Never.
PIs.
Nope. No face masks.
No, nothing of that. 3rd and 9. Kraus
Oh,
gets
there
rid
goes-
of it.
Oh.
Finds a wide open Owen Barkley. And Orono with a big 3rd down conversion as they get past midfield.
And just after I said they're doing a great job covering all the bases, they leave the defender wide open in the far flat.
Well, like you said, at some point your coverage breaks down.
It's true.
It's not a knock on anyone's intellect or route running or play calling. When you're trying to keep track of 22 players on the field, something's got to give.
Yes.
And that time, it gave Orono a 19-yard pickup. It's Rulin.
Oh,
Nope, that's number 9. That is Rulin.
Yeah.
I tripped myself up. I'm coming off of state soccer, folks.
It's a context switch. It's tough. Yep.
More importantly, Rulin picks up 8 yards and gets it to the 40 for 2nd and 2. And now Orono is moving downfield more efficiently again.
Look, back to their first offensive drive. The lanes look a little bit open now.
Victor Rulin, the junior, got a lot of reps last year in varsity. Grenagle takes the handoff and pushes his way to the 35 for the 1st down.
Good job up through the middle there with Greeneggle just finding enough space to get the chains moved.
This quick-moving first half. Orono hoping to make a quick play and get on the board. Grenagle again, big hole, or as Al Michaels said last night, big gaping hole. And he'll pick up about 10 yards, enough for the 1st.
And Greeneggle owes number 8, Jackson Wendorf, a steak dinner for opening up the hole on that one. He came in and took the brunt of a screaming interior lineman from Zimmerman and just stopped him from making the tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
1st and 10 from the 25. Pitch to Grenagle. This time he's met in the backfield. Number 13, Hunter Dipry with the stop.
I'm always curious why you run a play like that to the narrow side of the field.
When you're on the left hash mark.
Yep, but so it goes.
It probably would be 10 times better than the play I'd run. I'd go annexation of Puerto Rico the whole time.
There it is.
2nd and 11. 3-step drop.
Ooh.
High throw, but it's caught by Logan Chappelle.
Great grab by Chappelle. Yes.
And that degree of ad-lib gives Orono a 1st down, a pickup of 16.
Nice soft hands going up and getting that ball, securing it, and then getting a little bit extra after the catch.
Orono with their 5th 1st down of this drive, and it's 1st and goal.
Just inside the 10. Yep.
Chappelle closing in on 100 yards receiving. He hasn't had a whole lot of catches, but actually he did get over 100 yards. So he's at 101. Less than 5 on the play clock.
Get it off. Yep.
They do.
Oh, boy.
Ticky escapes 1 tackle. Looks for the edge.
Nope.
He won't get there.
Loses about 4 or 5 yards.
Davis Artesensi Skimmy with the tackle.
Yeah, it was hard it was hard for Ticky to find anything there. I thought maybe he was going to squirt right inside the 2 chasing defenders, but they caught up and tackle for loss.
4-yard loss on the play from Artesensi Skimmy, or Skime. It's 2nd and 14.
Oh, boy.
Kraus under
Screen.
trouble.
Oh.
And that pass
Hit
incomplete.
the turf, yep.
Again,
I don't hate
probably
the call.
doesn't, I
Yeah,
don't think it makes much of a difference there.
Right.
Ruland had nowhere to go.
I don't hate the call. I just don't know that I don't know that they were ready to execute it. White Bear. Zimmerman.
Long day?
Yeah, wow. Zimmerman had a Zimmerman seemed to be ready for that kind of a play choice.
White Bear, though, that's impressive.
Right?
Do they have anything in common with Zimmerman?
I don't know. I
Is
think
there
I
any
saw
crossover?
I think I saw the white jersey and my brain went white.
Play clock down to 1, and Orono will call a timeout, their second of the half.
Yep.
So go ahead.
I think you want play action here. I think you want something. I feel like 3rd and goal from the 15. You want something that can get the Zimmerman defense either back on their heels or try that screen again and see if you can execute it well.
Okay, so Zimmerman is a few miles north of Elk River, if you're wondering where it is in the state of Minnesota. But Elk River, that's in the opposite end of the metro from White Bear Lake.
I'm not saying it made sense. But I will say that 4A goes all the way from up from Grand Rapids down to Albert Lee. I did find that interesting today when I was researching the game.
Yeah, 4A considerable to 3A in sports like basketball and volleyball as far as who's involved there. Zimmerman, town of about 5,000, and again, not too far from Elk River, in between Princeton and Elk River to be precise.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's 3rd and goal. Ruland, high lob, and a breakdown on the route there. There was nobody.
I like the route, right? Nice slant across the middle. Get the wide receiver was in front of the defender, so the lane was there. Don't know if it slipped out on the throw or what, but just not at the receiver at all.
And that ball bounced into the abyss.
Yes.
But Orono is within range for Franklin Schwendeman, so he will attempt
Might as well.
31-yard field goal from the left hash mark to get Orono on the board.
31-yard attempt for Schwendeman.
The kick is up.
Bullet. And we are no longer scoreless.
Orono rides the bullet train to a 3-0 lead.
Not maybe as many points as Orono wanted to put on the board, but it's nice to finish a drive with a score.
So a 58-yard,
31-yard field goal from Schwendeman.
13-play drive, 6 minutes and 4 seconds, and Orono gets on the board. And at this stage, Jody, of course you always want 6, but too early in the game to get too cute with that. So take the points when you can.
Yep.
Given Orono's defense,
Yep.
taking a 3-0 lead gives you a little bit of insurance.
Yep. If you got a guy with a leg as good as Schwendeman, why not?
And a reminder, the winner of this game will play at Osseo next Thursday in the quarterfinals against the 5-4A champion. That's a short kick from Schwendeman. Well, it does get a few yards short of the end zone, and that is Spence. And a late flag comes in. So Spence was tackled at the 24-yard line. Let's see what the flag is about. It didn't come until late.
Personal foul.
A personal foul on Zimmerman.
Yep.
The flag came from the far side of the field from where the play was happening. I didn't quite see what transpired. But that's going to back up Zimmerman considerably. It's half the distance So they will start their next series at the 12.
I don't want to speculate too much, but usually that's some sort of pushing and shoving after or at the end. Something more egregious than just a block in the back or face mask.
So 1st and 10 from the 12, Zimmerman with their deepest field position of the game. And Orono, once again, on top of the rushing attack of Zimmerman. That was Noah Schmidt. And he's held for no gain.
Looks like looks like Orono's having a lot of luck sending a linebacker a little bit delayed into the hole right after the initial read.
2nd and 10. Snow rolls to the right, gets the pass to number 10, Noah Schmidt, who is stopped at the 21, so it will be 3rd and short. 3rd and 1 to be precise for the Thunder.
Joey Greeneagle hanging on for the tackle.
Let's see what Zimmerman does here in this 3rd and short play. Snow will keep it.
Oh!
He gets enough for the 1st down, but he took a hard hit in the process. He got laid into that one. Snow is going to feel that one.
Might have been a 1st down for Zimmerman, but Nash Ticky said, "This far, no further."
Snow gets back up, will shrug it off as best he can. Drops back to pass, goes with the short route. And
well covered.
Zimmerman picks up a couple of yards. Luke Poole with the catch. Crocked with the tackle, gain of 2.
You have to appreciate how good the Zimmerman quarterback is, though, because those plays are throws across the body moving backward, and they're still got plenty of mustard on them.
Plenty of zip. And now Snow goes to his left, and he connects with Artesensi Skime, who will pick up another 1st down just past the 40.
Another zippy pass.
Any more zip, and I'd have to check the Scoville unit of that mustard they're carrying.
Or we'd have to put a license plate on it.
Or that too. So 1st and 10 at the 41 after a 16-yard gain. Spence in motion. They hand it off. And breaking tackles, plenty of space along the right side. It's Freeburg inside the 30 and taken out of bounds at the 28.
That's kind of what I think Zimmerman been waiting for all night long. When are we going to get the room to run? And yes, that was a poorly executed tackle because he had him for about 2 yards.
A 31-yard gain for Freeburg. Now Snow looking to keep it. Breaks a tackle, but he'll be held for a gain of 2.
So that's twice now. Orono's had a chance at a tackle for little to no gain or a loss. And one of the easiest things it is to do when you're a defender is not use your feet, not keep your feet going and let get your shoulder into the tackle. That's what's happening.
This time, Orono's front line gets to him. Poole dropped for no gain.
Great penetration by the interior D-line of Orono. Grabbed the running back and just gently set him down.
To put it lightly. 3rd and 9. Orono looking to get a stop here. 2 minutes. And Orono calls timeout again.
I believe that's their last one.
It is. Well, considering how fast this first half has progressed, If you don't use them at this point, you may not get to.
That's very true.
This is not your typical first half. This pace, a brisk, quick one. It's only 7:45.
I might be out of here in time to watch a couple more episodes of Netflix by this at this rate.
I might be home to start binge watching She-Hulk.
Oh, you've not watched it yet?
Not yet.
Oh.
Well, I've been calling games almost every weeknight,
Right.
but now that we're in playoff mode, I'll have the weekend off.
You will enjoy it.
I don't know
Yes.
what I'm going to do with myself. 2 minutes, 1 second on the clock. 3rd and 9. What do you think Zimmerman tries here?
Something to the right here. Maybe a flood.
They've got 3 receivers to the right.
Oh.
No, Snow's going to keep it. Look to punch through the hole, and he'll get inside the 25 to the 23, a gain of 4. And I wonder if that play, that design indicates this is 4-down territory for them.
I'm thinking that's exactly it, Mike. Trying to get a little bit here and a little bit there, and then move the chains. Use all the downs that you have available to you. Another big play for Orono defense.
Last time Zimmerman had 4th down at this end of the field, a fumbled snap ended their drive.
I think nearly in the same place.
It was at the 20. This is the 23, so pretty close. Spence in motion. Snow under pressure. Gets rid of it.
Oh.
And Luke Poole with plenty of room to run for the touchdown.
Zimmerman gets what Orono wanted when they run the screen down in the red zone. Nice. That was a great play. And Zimmerman just not anywhere near where they were going to throw that ball.
You saw the pressure with Snow, but again, if you can elude it enough to get a play off, you've got a whole lot of room to run, and Luke Poole splashes in for the touchdown. The point after is good by Brendan Engelkes.
We got a game.
Zimmerman takes a 7-3 lead with 1:09 left in the second quarter. Orono out of timeouts, but they do get the ball to start the second half. That drive went 10 plays, 3 minutes, 52 seconds, 88 yards.
And I wonder if this will put a little juice in the Orono machine.
We shall see. And going back to Mount West Tonka, who Zimmerman upset to get here, and that's what gave Orono this home date. Mount West Tonka, they were featured in the Star Tribune earlier this season on their regular season success, but that hasn't translated to the postseason. And that upset, it wasn't just some squeaker. Zimmerman crushed them 42-14. It was a rout.
Literally ran all over them. Zimmerman did.
And the Thunder have done that to several opponents this season. Princeton, Malacca, and Albany were the other teams they lost to. So Orono will try to make something happen here with time winding down in the second quarter. And Ruland finds space along the left side. He's past midfield. And number 26, Owen Schauer, with a potentially touchdown-saving tackle. But a great kick return for the Spartans with 1 minute to go.
Patient running by the returner. Let his blocks get set up and then just found the corner and turned on the burners. Great return.
He certainly zipped down the left sideline,
Sure
didn't
did.
he? They will spot it at the 39-yard line. And Orono, short field here. No timeouts, but remember, the clock does stop to move the chains at this level. And Orono, they've had no trouble moving the football. Ticky on the quick screen. That's a good first down play. He runs out of bounds, picks up a few yards, and stops the clock with 55.3. A gain of 6. Schwendeman's range is about 42 yards, if my memory is correct.
Need
So-
about 10, 15 more to be comfortable.
Kraus lines up under center. Another quick throw. And
Oh,
the pass is
oh,
popped
that
out
might
and
have been-
intercepted.
Yes, it was. Oh, number 55.
Rocco Olson, who picked up that big sack earlier in this game. He is coming up clutch on defense for the Thunder, and they strike once more.
I didn't catch the number of who collided with the Orono receiver as the ball arrived, but he caused the tip, and then Olson was there just perfectly to get underneath it for the interception.
Olson picking up his first interception of the season.
What a time. What a time to do it.
And Zimmerman, they have all 3 timeouts, 50 seconds. So Zimmerman in position perhaps to
Break it open a little bit.
break
before
it
the half.
open,
Pitch.
throw some lightning in there.
Oh, great. Stiff arm.
And that's going to be a big gain for Matthew Freeberg as he runs out of bounds. He gets it to the 37-yard line. Okay, no, 43-yard line. That's right.
Yeah.
Still a big gain, though.
Yeah, nice run. That's the same gap that the earlier big run from Zimmerman happened through.
Gain of 24, and that stops the clock.
Same
Now
thing
Spence
the
on
other
the carry.
way.
Cuts back up after, and
Oh.
now the ball's loose. Orono picks
has
it up.
Orono
Wow.
has it.
Caused by number 23, Asher Beltran.
Beltran forced the fumble. I didn't see who fell on it.
My goodness. So either we have very poor ball carriers, which I don't believe, or we have just some excellently hard-hitting football here tonight.
Unfortunately for Orono, it eats away at some clock. They only have 33 seconds left, and again, out of timeouts. But defense winning the day here at Pessinen Stadium.
Absolutely. Love to see it.
Let's see what Orono does here.
They don't have to run a play. Oh. Oh, they broke too many men.
Yep, George Perkins. A few seconds late.
Yeah.
You heard him. I should say you heard him.
Yeah.
They call it on number 7, Nate Singleton, but I don't know if it matters. Too many men is too many men.
Correct.
No matter
And-
who the guilty party is.
Right, and it's a little different for the offense than the defense, right? If you come out with 12 guys on defense, as long as you get one off, you're fine. But if you break the huddle with 12 on offense, that's a penalty.
The Vikings know that all too well.
Sadly, yes.
Orono will try to make something happen, though. Grenagel tackled from behind, and remember, Orono out of timeouts. And they just might call it a half here and regroup for the second after that.
Yeah, a little flex there from Luke Poole at the end, and I don't blame him. That was a very nice shoestring tackle from behind.
Orono lining up.
Looks like they're going to run a play.
One more.
Boy.
Kraus launching it. And the pass is picked off
I don't think it's going to
by
matter.
Hunter Dipree. No, time expired, so technically it will go down as an interception, but time expires, so one of those no harm, no foul type things. Maybe you throw it up, hope to get a PI or a big catch.
Yeah, the ball was a little short. There were 2 defenders in the area. There was some contact. Half canton on a defensive penalty. All sorts of facts are true, but I don't mind that no call.
So that puts an end to a wild first half where the defense has come up big on both sides, and Zimmerman holds a 7-3 lead in the Section 6 4A football final. The winner moves on to state next week.
It's a good game. It's a good game, Mike. They can't ask for anything more out of section final playoff.
You certainly can't. And we'll rejoin you in about 15 minutes to recap the first half and share this week's pop culture patio topic from our buddy Dan Minnesota. Stick around. You're watching Orono High School football on the Orono Activities YouTube channel. Mike Beaton and Minnesota Vixen OG Jody Raylander with you as the second half of the Section 6 4A football final is upon us. Zimmerman leads Orono 7-3 in a game that featured more turnovers than scoring plays. A muffed punt, a pair of interceptions, and a fumble recovery. So Orono trailing 3-1 in the turnover battle based on our count, but really it's defense that's winning the day here, Jody.
And it's still anybody's game, right? It's still one play away all the time. I don't feel like either team has an advantage or a disadvantage on offense or defense. They're still in the what's going to work, what's going to be the thing that breaks this thing wide open.
And if you're wondering about the pop culture patio topic, why I didn't bring that up, some people at this game cannot fully appreciate it yet. They still need a few more years. But if I call a game, and I'll be calling plenty more Friday night with winter sports coming up, I'll be sure to share more with you. But we're trying to set a good example for these students before it's too late.
Well, we did manage.
Look what happened to me.
We did manage to get our annexation of Puerto Rico reference in, so at least we've got that.
So Orono will get the ball to start the second half. Orono has moved the ball a couple of times downfield. One drive stalled. You had that interception coming off of that great kick return. So good field position hasn't been an issue for the Spartans. Finishing drives has.
I was just going to say they've kind of been their own worst enemy. We'll see how they do here.
2 quarters away. Oh, and that kick was going to go out of bounds. Instead, Ruland has to return it from deep. And give him props to make something out of it. It's one of those situations, Jody, where you're darned if you do, darned if you don't.
Right. Not a terrible idea to let it roll because it did look like it was going out of bounds. And even if it went into the end zone, it's still a touchback. But it just had the right roll and bounce and was going to die, so you pick it up and get what you can.
And remember, on kickoffs, once the ball goes past 10 yards, the kicking team can recover.
That is correct. It's a live ball.
Right, that's a little different than how punts work.
Yep.
I know this because the Minnesota Machine, that other women's football team, once fooled me on a kickoff where that happened. So 1st and 10 all the way back at the 12. And good penetration up front, but Ruland able to break tackles and turn a potentially negative play into a positive one.
Tough run. I thought for sure he was down with just maybe 1 or 2 yards gained, but he kept his balance, kept fighting, and a nice long 8-yard gain on first down.
That will make it 2nd and 2. Again, Orono playing without Liam Rogers. He was injured earlier this season, hasn't returned, and up until late in that second quarter, Orono shutting down Caden Spence, the all-star running back.
First down.
Ruland gets it to the 25.
So some good hard-charging runs here to start the second half for Orono.
And the Spartans, again, they've been doing it by committee since the injury to Rogers. Whether it's Ruland, Grenagle, Ticky a couple of times. Ticky going to St. Thomas, of course. Orono looking to repeat their state tournament bid when they reached the semifinals in 4A from last year. Another run play, this time Grenagle on the carry, and he leaps for 3 more yards.
Tackle by number 60, Dylan Weller. Gain of 4 on the play, 2nd and 6.
Zimmerman's Weller comes in from behind and does a whirlwind gator roll to keep Orono from getting further yards on that play.
That's all good. I don't know any of this stuff.
Mr. Lucy, would you like some? Not tonight, thank you, Kelly. Yep.
3-step drop for Grenagle. A throw up the middle, caught by Nash Ticky for the first down.
Nice little pitch and catch right across the middle between the linebackers for another first down.
He gets the ball to the 37.
Again, nothing fancy here for Orono. Just executing the game plan, and I don't know. Good start to the second half.
Orono beat Big Lake and Princeton in section play. The Princeton game, a 29-26 squeaker. And the Zimmerman upset of Mount West Tonka, giving Orono home field for the section final. And only a yard on that play by Grenagle.
Yeah, it looked like the blocking up front there just didn't quite get set the way it should have been. I think they were trying to cross block and provide a seam for the running back, and it just didn't materialize the way they'd hoped.
2nd and 9 for the Spartans. Sixth play of the drive. They're hoping to construct a sustained possession here. Pitch to Rulin, and he's met in the backfield. On the tackle, number 50, Trayton Wibidow.
Wibidow for Zimmerman just slashing through that gap and taking down the Orono running back, who looked to have a pretty good head of steam and a little bit of room to run.
Wibidow's 6'4", 240 pounds.
That's a large person.
Larger than me. 3rd and 10 for the Spartans. Likely passing play here.
No,
they go to the ground. Interesting play
Oh,
call.
is there a fumble?
Zimmerman.
There's the bean.
And
No,
Zimmerman
Zimmerman has the
recovers.
ball. Orono turns it over once again. Gosh, every time they've gotten a little daylight, they've just not been able to hang on to the ball, literally.
And that gives the Thunder a short field with 8 minutes and 4 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. And that is the 4th turnover on the Spartans.
So while you don't want to fumble it, you got to give Zimmerman kudos for trying to punch that thing out regularly. Right up the middle.
That's Luke Poole. And he just carries defenders with him to the 25.
You said it, Mike. Just getting into the little bit of a gap that he had and then just pounding away with the feet.
Luke Poole averaging 6 yards a carry entering this game. Zimmerman going with that sugar huddle. It's Spence. Run up the gut for a yard or 2.
That time, Orono defensive line does a real good job of shutting all of the O-line and nowhere to run.
At this stage of the game, this is the point. Orono, you'll take any stop, of course, but you get the feeling they have to come up with a big stop here to keep themselves within range.
Absolutely. The Orono defense needs to come up with some kind of stop here.
2nd and 9.
Yep. Pitch out, reverse.
That's number 13, Hunter Dipry. They'll have enough for the first down.
Again, it's nothing fancy, but Zimmerman just doing a really great job of selling the misdirection because they're flowing one way and coming back the other. That was a pitch around that last time. Great execution.
More no huddle from the Thunder.
Same thing the other way.
Spence looking to turn the corner. He'll pick up another first down. Inside the 5.
Yep. 1st and goal. And I don't think Orono is tired, but they're definitely a step late here to start the second half.
And Spence, I believe, eclipsed 2,000 yards on that play if he hadn't done so earlier.
Right up the
Snow
middle.
will keep it.
Yep.
And he'll keep it himself for the touchdown. Big hole up the middle, and that was a direct snap for Spence. And he'll add another touchdown to an impressive total.
You sense that the teeter-totter is about to tip one way or the other, and Orono's got a big job to do if they want to keep it in their favor.
That is the 29th rushing touchdown. Bad snap on the point after, and Grenagle gets him. So the Spartans get some solace, limiting Zimmerman to 6, but the Thunder lead the Spartans 13-3 with 6:25 left in the third quarter. That was a 5-play, 41-yard drive, 1 minute and 39 seconds. Spence with his 29th rushing touchdown of the year. And this guy, in the first 2 rounds of section play, you may not believe this, 4 rushing touchdowns. And he had 6 against Fridley. That was his season high. 4 200-yard games or more, 304 his season high. He can pile up yards in a hurry. And for Orono, big question here, can they hang on to the football? I know that seems cliche or it might be driving it a little too hard, but that's where the game has come down to, turnovers.
Yes.
After a defensive battle early on, and Orono will likely start their next series at the 35. They may elect to have Zimmerman re-kick.
Nope, they'll take it.
Yeah, my experience, I think 9 times out of 10, the receiving team will elect to spot it at the 35.
Right. Because that is better field position than I would say 90% of returns get you.
Unless it was you returning it.
You're very kind.
I bet you could have took the ball past midfield.
I've recovered a lot of fumbles on kickoffs.
Grenagle on the carry on first down, looking for a hole, and the flag comes in from the backfield.
Yep.
Logan Schleter called for the hold.
I don't know, Mike. You sense that Orono's just a little flat here. Not sure what to do, trying to find some momentum, but as we've said, they've kind of been their own worst enemy.
Just one of many section games taking place tonight. Jody and I, we were looking at some of the scores from earlier games, halftime, and some surprises in there, but when you get to section finals, play action, Kraus under pressure and has to get rid of it. Nobody there, but Zimmerman's front line closing in on Kraus there.
Great pressure. Final score from Fridley, 43-42 to Chisago Lake after being up 29-20 in the third quarter.
So Chisago Lakes advancing to state. Meanwhile, it's 2nd and 20 following the incompletion. Kraus under trouble again, escapes, finds Perkins, but the pass is incomplete.
Holding penalty and just not able to create any space for Kraus tonight in this third quarter yet. Maybe need to go back to the screen here.
And I don't know how many plays you have for 3rd and 20.
Not too many.
Orono's defense was stout early on.
And I don't think they have a lot of people going both ways.
Play clock down to 0. They get the snap off.
Yep.
Pass is tipped, caught by Grenagle, breaks the tackle, but he had a long way to go, and he's taken down from behind by Poole.
Yeah.
Big stop for the Thunder. they should get good field position here as they seek to add to their lead.
Just had an answer for everything that last drive Zimmerman did. Orono fading a little bit, trying to find some momentum again.
A turnover on their first series, a 3 and out on this series to start the second half, and a high snap. Punt is blocked, and Zimmerman picks it up inside the 10. Number 53, Samuel Birdsell, picks up the football.
So if there's one thing that's for sure in the game of football, it's that it's a game of emotion, a game of momentum. And the other thing is that nothing is insurmountable, even when everything appears to be going the wrong way, if you have enough time left. We're still only, we've still got about a third of the third quarter left in the whole fourth quarter. Orono's not out of this by any means, but they do have to gather themselves and buckle down and just start executing the simple things.
Unforced errors causing Orono to unravel.
Yeah.
And it's first and goal from the 8 for Zimmerman. Snow looking for a hole, doesn't get one. Ball's out, Orono says they have it. Ticky caused the fumble.
No call. Yes, yes,
And
Orono has recovered it.
Wow.
So that could be the break they needed. Yes, they're deep in Zimmerman's zone, but they've got the football. That's a huge turn of events.
Zimmerman had first and goal at the 8. Snow kept it. Orono will take over at about the 3, but they get a huge turnover when they need it most.
I'll tell you, whoever survives this game, there are going to be a lot of ball handling drills in practice this week.
That's the second turnover on Zimmerman, the second fumble they've lost. But Orono pinned deep in their own territory. Let's see what they can do here. They'll try to pick up some yards, and they get a couple on that play to Victor Ruland.
And off to Ruland, tackle by number 11.
Boy, just a swarm of white jerseys right now for Zimmerman. Wherever the ball is, you love to see it, especially approaching the end of the third quarter.
I'm a little perplexed at the litany of fumbles here, Jody. I know temperatures are cool, but not unusual for early November. No rain. Just a lot of loose grip. Play action. Kraus.
Is he in?
I don't know. There's a flag, though.
Oh.
And they will say number 2, Logan Chappelle made the catch. Nope, now it's incomplete.
Yeah.
But we still have a flag to sort out.
Yep. So the back judge and the linesman.
Pass interference is what they're signaling.
Yes.
So it won't matter. Orono's going to get some yardage out of this.
Yep. Just a little bit too much contact not to call. I don't know if it was a push off. It was. Yeah.
Hunter Dipri.
Yeah. Yep. Hard to see the Orono bench was in the way of the actual action, but that has been a thing all night for those long passes. Finally did enough to catch a call.
Yeah, the pass was incomplete, right? We were obscured by the Orono bench, but that pass was certainly catchable. Hence the pass interference call. So Orono picks up a free 15 yards. They get a first down out of it. And now they have some breathing room. Kraus on the play action, escapes one tackler, goes deep, and the pass is intercepted. He underthrew that just a bit, allowing Matthew Freeberg to make the pick. The 5th turnover on the Spartans in this game.
Oh, and Owen Barkley's going to want to have that one back someday. That's great throw, and it looks like he didn't quite get his feet underneath him in time to get back and challenge for the ball. Sometimes the wide receiver has to turn into the defender. That was that kind of play. He just couldn't get his feet underneath him good enough to come back and fight for the ball.
So Freeberg picks up the interception. And Zimmerman takes over at the 36, and I'm sure Tom Kish is telling his offensive contingent, hang on to that football. They had first and goal at the 8. A fumble ended their chance at a quick score. Here's Spence looking for space along the left side. Has some blocking, and he'll pick up a decent gain out of that. Slight push off at the end, and a flag comes in.
There we go. Yep, starting to get a little chippy. Yep. Yeah, we saw that very early in the game, Mike, where the Zimmerman running backs were not afraid to put out a hand and lay one of those stiff arms, but you can't do it. You can't do it off the field, outside of the white.
And it's on Zimmerman. It's one of those situations where officials will usually catch the person who reacted,
Yes.
not the first instance.
After the play was over, personal foul on the offense number 58. 15-yard penalty. The down count. Second down.
Chase Burwald called for the personal foul. And because it was after the play, the down count, so it's going to be second and long for the Thunder. So Orono, they're down, but Zimmerman giving them some outs here.
Zimmerman trying to be the United Way. Give it back.
There's a run play up the middle, and Zimmerman will pick up a few yards back. They lost 8 on the penalty, and they'll have 3rd and 13 from the 32. Actually, 3rd and 14. The line to gain is the 46.
Zimmerman's got a long third down here. I'm expecting a pass, but hard to say.
3rd and 14. Option pitch to Spence. He's looking for blocking. Orono swallows him up.
Great pursuit by Orono. If it wasn't going to be a pass, not surprised that it was that little pitch out that has been working for them more or less during the rest of the game. But Orono that time sniffed it out right there with a swarm of blue.
And I know Orono has been dogged by turnovers, but Zimmerman, they have that 2-possession lead, but it feels like they've lost a couple of chances to put this one away.
Whatever strong momentum they had to start the half, they've lost a little bit of it, yes.
They had first and goal at the 8, and then they had an interception. What's going on here? Number 42, Mason Pankinen, he didn't touch it, but why would I agree with the PA staff. Why would you track the ball?
Goodness.
That was a strange sequence there.
So from the Vixen perspective, any one of us who did that would earn a very fast trip to the bench and a boot to the butt from our special teams coach. I'm not sure why you do that. That is a recipe for disaster, especially in a game that appears to be as tight as this one.
Well, and 2 Zimmerman players were right there, so you're not going to
get any yardage out of it.
Not likely. I don't understand that.
Who knows what's inside the brain of a 17-year-old?
Well, even I'm not invincible, so this isn't to say I would know what I'm doing, but we'll see if Orono can make something of this as Grenagel finds a hole, and he will have enough to get to the first down at the 38.
Real nice play there. Nothing flashy again, but just give the ball to Grenagel and follow your blockers, and we move the chains. Good job on Grenagel kind of threading his way through the middle there. Not an easy task.
Less than 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Orono down by 2 possessions. They've got to find a way to get points on the board if they wish to make a return trip to state. Grenagel on the carry. Not much there. He'll pick up a yard. But a flag, possibly. Yes, there is a flag. Wow.
So 53 Birdsell gets in there almost immediately after the snap, but unfortunately drags his hand past the face mask as he goes by.
So a free 15 yards for the Spartans. That takes them to the 46 following the penalty. Zimmerman, their discipline starting to deteriorate a bit. They had a personal foul that took away a solid run from Spence, and now Ruland has space as he cuts upfield to the 35.
Orono giving Zimmerman a little bit of their own medicine with a triple motion, triple handoff there in the backfield with people crossing each other, and finally Ruland coming right up the seam and slashing them again for about a 10-yard gain.
So personal foul for Zimmerman and then a face mask, and Orono, they really got to take advantage of this situation. Less than a minute to go in the third. Grenagel hands it off to Ruland, and Ruland will add a few more yards. Gets close to the 30-yard line, actually.
5 yards.
They'll spot him at the 30.
Yep.
2nd and 5 coming up. We'll see if Orono elects to run one more play before time expires in the third. Play clock is off. Grenagel on the carry. Gets to the 25. He should have enough, and he does. They'll spot him at the 24.
With a little bit left to go in the quarter.
And that will bring us to the end of 3. Orono driving. It will be 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line as we flip the field. Orono hoping to score on this drive and give themselves a reasonable shot at making it back to state. 13-3 in favor of Zimmerman.
Even if you get a field goal out of this, at least they need some kind of point to have any hope of staying in this through the final period.
And with this being the final quarter, at least in the Orono Activities YouTube channel coverage of Orono football, Jody, where can people find you? I know you've been busy officiating and calling games with us, and I know you'll be ready for your 24th season with the Vixen, if I'm correct?
25th, actually.
25th?
Yeah, 25th, yeah.
It's been a long...
Numbers.
It all comes together, right?
Right, numbers, yeah.
You've been doing this for a really long time.
I have. I've been doing this for a really long time, and I'm really excited. You can find the Vixen, my team, at MN_Vixen at pretty much all the social channels. We are mnvixen.com. I am at CopperGirl488 on most of the social channels as well. So feel free to follow us, take a like, and follow our season. We have been to the championship the last couple of years, so expecting another good run.
Orono hoping to win this section championship and make it back to state next week. Kraus flushed out, throws it away on 1st down, and a flag, a late hit.
Yep.
It looks like Dylan Weller, they're going to get him on the late hit, and Orono should pick up more yardage here.
Well, whether it's by penalty or by play, I don't think you can argue with positive yardage. Zimmerman, who was firmly in control at the beginning.
Helmet to helmet is what they call.
Horse collar.
Horse collar.
Yes.
Horse collar.
Yes.
Either way, that's a personal foul and half the distance. That is
40 yards on penalties in this drive?
We had a face mask and now
personal foul.
A personal foul. That's 2 first downs gained by penalty. 1st and 10 from the 13. Here's Ruland. Doesn't have anywhere to go there.
No.
Held for no gain.
No gain on the play. Tackle by number 11.
Max Gostenchik on the tackle. And at first I thought, is this 4-down territory? But you need 10 points, 3 and 7, one way or the other. So if you don't convert, you're within range for Schwendeman. But Orono would love to have 6 instead of 3. Pitch to Ruland. And a flag comes in.
Is that a hold?
I saw Dylan Weller go down. Number 57, Logan Schleter in the vicinity. Yep. That's something Orono desperately needs to avoid here.
So Orono appears to be in a little bit of a rut as far as play calling in the end zone. I think this is the 6th or 7th time I've seen them run that basically little pitch out to the left side. I'm not sure that that's working for them, and I think consistently they've been getting called for hold when they do it.
2nd and 21. They have to get the ball past the 3. Kraus in trouble. Down he goes.
Yep.
Ruled down.
No, he's down, yes.
Brock Snow, Zimmerman thought he had a scoop and score there, but he's down. But
yep, ruled down.
11-yard loss. Oh, boy.
And Orono in a pretty big hole here, 3rd and a bus ticket.
They'll spot it at the 34. I think it's 3rd in San Francisco at this rate. San Francisco 1986.
Yes.
We're talking slingshot around the sun, 3rd down.
Yeah, I don't know. The O-line of Orono has not given Kraus a lot of time at all tonight to throw.
He's been under pressure multiple times. 3rd and
again.
I don't even want to think about the numbers, and nothing there for the Spartans on that quick screen.
Yep.
Logan Chappelle.
And that's not a terrible call, even in this situation, but you have to have a blocker out there picking up that corner or the linebacker who's going to be scraping over. And nobody was there, and a nice tackle at the line of scrimmage for Zimmerman.
Orono got as far as the 13, a sack and a holding penalty. Derailed that drive, and
again, their own worst enemy tonight.
And now time becomes an enemy for the Spartans.
Yeah.
That was at least 3 points.
Taken off the board. Yep.
And that punt will
no,
go
it
into
did.
the end zone.
It did, yep. Oh,
no?
He is going to call it.
Wow.
Oh, he is, okay. It must have hit the line before it bounced into the end zone.
So Zimmerman will take over at their own 3. 9:14 to go. Again, though, you're running out of time with a 2-possession margin.
Yep. Good job on this punt, pinning Zimmerman deep in their own zone. But unless you can get some kind of a safety or something, you need a big stop here, however it comes.
Again, the winner will play next Thursday at Osseo. It will be the Section 6 winner and the Section 5 winner. In the smaller classes, they don't seed them. I find that a little bizarre, but that's a discussion I'll save for another day. So Zimmerman pinned deep in their own territory. Snow keeps it. He loses a couple.
No, I think he managed to get out. He gets forward
Right,
progress.
he loses
Yep.
a couple.
Yep.
Almost a safety there.
Yes. And as I remind folks every game, it's not where you end up, it's how far you
Right.
get.
But that is worth noting, because if Orono is lucky enough, I shouldn't say lucky, but should they win themselves a safety, that would make it a 1-possession game.
Yes, because they would also get the ball back.
So this is a critical situation for the Thunder.
Oh.
Run up the gut, and a flag comes in late. It was a gain of 1 on the play, and it looks like it's going to be on Zimmerman as the officials are talking to the Orono side. I see the signal for hold. What would you do here?
Oh. Okay. Right.
So
yep.
Matthew Freeberg and Brooks Howard both hit with chop blocks, and Orono will take the play instead of the penalty to make it 3rd down.
That's been a point of emphasis with officials this year, so good to see that call.
Ball at the 2. 3rd and 11. Orono showing blitz.
Yep.
Quick throw, and the pass is caught by Spence. He had the edge with Ruland. Spence 6'2", 195. Ruland 5'10", 190. And that few inches of height gives Zimmerman new heights on this drive.
You got to appreciate the route that Spence ran. He ran it to the exact right place, and then the placement of the ball. Timeout for referees.
Officials
to tell us
timeout.
something here.
Please reset the game clock to 7 minutes 58 seconds. We'll start on the snap.
Little clock fix there.
7:58. That is the correct time. It happens to everybody. But Zimmerman gets a big play when they need it most.
Oh,
Delayed
boy.
pitch to Spence, and that went nowhere. Grenagle drops him for a big loss. A loss of 6.
Risky little pitch out there over the head of the line, and then nothing doing for Zimmerman. Grenagle made sure of that.
Six-yard loss. Zimmerman, another close call. Remember, they've had a couple of fumbles, including one on 1st and goal at the 8.
Up the middle.
It's Spence. Found a hole, and he'll pick up those 6 yards back, but it's 3rd and 10.
Spence, you can see why he's such a successful running back. He's got that deadly stiff arm. He's got those nice longer arms and legs. A stiff arm for a running back is one of the most lethal things you can have in your back pocket.
Caden Spence over 2,000 yards rushing. Insane to think about at this level.
Yeah, you really don't see that at this level. It's impressive.
3rd and 10, big down here. Orono brings the pressure again. This time Zimmerman goes to the ground, and I wonder if they're trying to play a little bit of clock here, but they're not going to get much, and Zimmerman will send the punting unit out, I suspect.
So maybe no points for Zimmerman on this drive, but I think they would call it a success, having kept the ball for another 3-4 minutes and Orono out of the end zone.
5:55 left. Zimmerman's going to let the play clock run all the way down and then use one of their timeouts. And they do just that with 5:40 to go. I guess since you plugged your own social media, if there are any Orono fans out there who want to follow my coverage as we transition from fall to winter sports, you can find me at @TheMikePeden on Twitter and Instagram. I don't know why any of you would want to do that, because I will flood your timelines with pop culture references, but at @TheMikePeden, it's been a wonderful time bringing you live coverage of Orono football for our second season on the Orono Activities YouTube channel, and whatever happens tonight, we certainly hope we can come back for 2023 and continue documenting this history in the making for our next generation of young leaders out there.
Whether it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday night, or Saturday afternoon, lights high school football is something to see.
There's a reason so many resources are deployed across the metro to provide coverage like this.
Oh, Jill.
Here comes the punt.
Yep.
Ruland will let it bounce away. It takes a Zimmerman bounce. And Orono will take over, but they're running out of time. That's not going to work.
Kudos for trying. Though.
That's not. Rocco Olson trying a little
fan
windmill.
action there.
Yes.
Yep.
Like that. I'm sorry, but the air you generate from swinging your arms isn't going to be enough to move that pigskin. I'm
Nope.
sure Jody's probably tried that. How many times?
Actually, none. I don't think I've ever tried that.
That's a page out of the old, film TV book. You're blowing the ball and let your internal velocity try to dictate action.
Yes.
5:26 to go. Orono, they've got to score here to have any chance. Ruland flushed out, and he throws it away. Good catch by Grenagle, but
On the sideline.
he's not on the field. But again, this game is going to come down to turnovers. 2 for Zimmerman, 5 for Orono.
Yep, and I think you're exactly right, Mike. That's the story of the game. You cannot be down 3 in your turnover ratio and expect to win the game.
Not often. Kraus in trouble. Somehow escapes it, but I don't know. I don't know if anyone was nearby.
No, and it was very close to the line of scrimmage.
Well, you know how the Zimmerman fans feel about this.
Yes.
They are making their assessment of the situation clear.
Yes. Oh,
And
Boo-Birds are out. Here come the Boo-Birds. Yep.
Third and 10. No intentional grounding. But Ruland, or I should say Kraus, not having the best night. That offensive line struggling to keep Zimmerman at bay.
And Orono's going to take a timeout. There's some confusion here. Yep.
5:13 to go.
Yep.
And Jody, I'm sure you've been in situations like this, close games where you have a chance to win it, but when you commit a boatload of turnovers, 5 for Orono in this case, it can really disrupt your rhythm, your flow, all of it. You're not used to coughing up the ball that much.
Yeah, and it makes you question yourself, right? Football being a game of momentum and emotion, it's also a game of confidence. So if you're continually coughing up the ball, you know, it's a morale thing. Sometimes your teammates will be like, man, you know, why can't we do anything right today? And sometimes it's just not your day.
And Orono, they've done plenty right. They were 4-4 in the regular season. They brought back a lot of the pieces that got them to state last year. So this is not some fluky run. Remember, the Spartans won a total of 2 games last year and then went all the way to the semis.
But it's possible Zimmerman really showed who they were last week, and this is just more of the same.
They're continuing to show it here.
Yep.
3rd and 10 for Orono. Probably 4-down territory here. Ruland under pressure again, and the pass is dropped. Brady McPherson had it. Looked like he was short of the line to gain, and it's 4th down.
And see, that's what I mean. When things aren't going your way, the little things seem even harder. You just like a nice little pitch and catch over the middle like that, you drop it. It's really tough to play when you've been making a lot of mental mistakes.
4th and 10. Orono has to get past the 30. Ruland in trouble. Loses the ball.
Oh, boy.
Zimmerman picks it up.
Is that the 6th?
I don't know who fell on it.
Yeah. Clearly a fumble, but on 4th down didn't really matter.
That was Kraus, I should say. Yeah, Kraus, he's having a day that he'll want to put aside after this game. So Zimmerman takes over at the 8.
5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Nothing's done till it's done, but things are going Zimmerman's way.
And you have to give Zimmerman's defensive line props. They have brought pressure to Kraus all game long. And a low snap.
Boy.
Snow has to fall on it. It has been that kind of night. I know Zimmerman closing in on a section championship, but like you're saying, Jody, there will be a lot of drills on ball control. And again, it's a little perplexing to see. Again, I would understand it if we were dealing with like a mist or some showers, but it was dry today. We had rain overnight, but certainly not close enough to impact grip in this game. So that makes it 2nd and goal from the 12 after the 4-yard loss. Spence in motion, takes the quick pitch from Snow. And he gets it to the 11.
Maybe a yard. Good pursuit out there on the edge for Orono.
Short gain in the play. 3rd down.
For the Thunder, they've done enough. They probably wouldn't call this their best game of the season. But with sustained pressure on the quarterback and a few interceptions to boot, goes to a saying as we have a run up the gut. I think Zimmerman just trying to eat up time here. There's a saying I mention a lot in sports, Jody, as Orono calls a timeout. You don't have to be perfect, just good enough.
Right, right.
So 3:36 to go.
Yeah, you had the feeling not that long ago that this might be one of those games that gets a little out of control, meaning from the play on the sidelines with a couple of unsportsmanlike, little pushing and shoving out of bounds. But both teams seem to have calmed down, so kudos to the sidelines and the respective coaching staffs and the referees, which is their job to control the game.
Zimmerman will go for it here on 4th and goal. Snow on the fade. The pass is caught. Thunder, touchdown. Matthew Freeberg with the silencer.
Just outran his coverage and a nice floater right into the hands of Freeberg.
And Zimmerman can, in all likelihood, make some travel plans to Osseo next Thursday.
Yep.
Cole Gabot lines up for the extra point. And he sends it through. 3:30 left. Zimmerman able to convert on 1st and goal at the 8. They lead 20-3 with 3:30 to go.
And for being, visually a slightly smaller team, Zimmerman, they have stood toe-to-toe with Orono tonight and brought everything they had. So kudos.
Well, you knew they were going to be a tough out when you see them beat the top seed 42-14. Again, we're not talking some squeaker that you just sneak through. It was a convincing victory. Jody, I know you can't speak directly from high school experience, but being on the Vixen, you've been in your share of playoff races.
Yes.
When you get to the postseason. As you noted, reaching the championship round in WFA Division I, rebranding as WFA Pro this year, but it's never an easy feeling when you have that sense of being in contention only to see that opportunity fade.
Potential, right? You always want to realize the potential you have, and everyone starts the season as a potential champion, and not everybody gets a chance to realize that. And I think it's tougher as Orono does recover the kickoff successfully. I think it's tougher when you don't realize a large amount of potential and feel like things could have gone better. That's a hard thing to have to sit with in the off season. And for some of these, this is the last time they'll ever put on a football helmet. So that's tough. I am approaching the end of my career as well, and the thought of that, it's tough. And I've had 25 years, much less 4 or 7.
I thought you would play forever. 25 years? I thought you just were. You would just
Bionic?
regenerate. Yes, or you could regenerate like the Time Lords from Gallifrey as
Right.
Grenagle takes it to the 37-yard line.
Lots of scuffling down there, but I do think he was down. Yeah.
And sports, there's another quirk that one of my old friends told me when it comes to athletics, no matter the level, high school, college, or pro, because of how they're structured, no matter the class, no matter the sport, you're only left with one team ending on the high note, everyone else
Yeah.
feeling like they left something at the table.
Yeah.
You always want to go out on that high note as Grenagle adds a couple more yards here. You want to be the one that gets the pomp and circumstance associated with the section title. Orono calling their final timeout with 2:41 to go. And
Well, and no one really remembers who came in second. That's the rub. You work just as hard as the team who ends
Of
up on top,
course.
but the glory, the trophy, the whatever, all goes to the winner. And I do want to say I've seen Orono now 3 times this year, and I do think that they did not play up to their potential tonight. But I also think that they've got a real good program, and I think they have something to be really excited about in the years to come.
there will be some changeover, of course, owing to graduation. Charlie
Yes.
Kraus, this is his final game. Victor Rulin will return. Nash Ticky, he's going off to play for St.
St.
Thomas,
Thomas,
who's
yeah.
having a tremendous season in the Pioneer League.
Mm.
Schwendeman, his last year, and no one ever wants to see their season end. And I see it frequently when I cover section games, the emotions that sometimes overwhelm you when it hits you, as we've got a halfback option. Grenagle throws up the middle, and
Oh,
somehow
it's caught.
Ticky catches that. Well,
there's life there's life in them there hills yet.
Well, Orono, even if they go out after this, they're going to have one more highlight to add to the reel. And I mentioned this last weekend when I did a section semifinal.
Mm.
For some of the younger players, those who are coming back, Grenagle and Ticky, both seniors, so it won't affect them, but should say Kraus sacked again by Luke Poole, the junior.
Have we been counting sacks? Do we know how many that is?
For
That-
Kraus,
Yeah.
probably a
that's-
few too many.
Right. Gosh, I'm not sure what's going on, but the linebackers are pretty much having free will.
And that is swaying significantly, I think, the turnover battle. How many
Yeah.
times was Kraus under pressure, had to get rid of it prematurely?
Yeah. At least get a chip on the blitzer, or
And again, this time number 50, and more penetration from Zimmerman. Initial pressure from Trayton Wibidow. And Weller making the tackle. But I was going to say before all this, no matter what, for the seniors, this is their last ride. But for the underclassmen, those who are coming back, you want to play until the final buzzer because you're effectively making a first impression for next season.
yes.
As Rulin gets it back close to midfield with less than a minute to go. So Orono again, the turnovers and the pressure defense caused by Zimmerman on the quarterback, Charlie Kraus, the difference tonight. And tough way for Orono to end it, but that's how it goes. 1 year you make you all the way to the semis. Another year you find yourself on the wrong end of a section final.
Yep. And honestly, Zimmerman kind of came in for a straight fight, and I don't know that Orono was ready for that kind of a night tonight.
And going in, we were thinking Caden Spence was going to be a big piece of this, and he did get a rushing touchdown, so that keeps his streak active. but it was the defense that defined this game.
Yep.
Zimmerman's defense brought a ton of pressure to Charlie Krause, and Orono just had a hard time reacting to it. And there you see some of the hugs
Yeah.
from the seniors. Orono's campaign will come to an end in the section final. That being said, given their schedule and what we've seen out of this group, it wouldn't surprise me if they're
They'll
in the
be back.
conversation again next season.
They'll be here again. Yep.
And we certainly hope we'll be there to guide you along that story. But tonight belongs to the Zimmerman Thunder, Section 6 4A champions. They will move on to state. They upset Mount Westonka last weekend, and they continue their road trip to state. 2 road games, and they will play at Osseo next Thursday. Lightning and Thunder.
Confetti in the stands for Zimmerman. Great game.
A great game for Zimmerman. They win it 20-3. As we await the award presentation, Jody, this game with a stronger defensive flavor than we expected, but Zimmerman's defense, they were consistent. They kept bringing pressure to Krause, and that paid off in big ways for them. Maybe not in the scoreboard, 20-3, the final, but all those turnovers added up.
Yeah, and you know, Mike, I talk about resiliency a lot, right? How do you bounce back when things aren't quite going your way? And Orono never really recovered from some of those consecutive mishaps, fumbling on drives, taking sacks. It was just a thing where Orono didn't have the resiliency tonight.
Like you said, just wasn't their night, and the timing always stinks when that happens in win-or-go-home scenarios, but that's how sports works. It's euphoria when you get those victories, as Zimmerman is experiencing now, and it can be deflating when you're on the other end of that. But for folks like Nash Ticky and the others, there's a bright future ahead for a lot of these athletes.
And some good sportsmanship down there, right? I see some of the Orono guys going over to the Zimmerman group and shaking hands and congratulating the coaches. And when it's all said and done, it is really just a game.
It is just a game. Congratulations in order to the Zimmerman Thunder, your section champions, as Tom Kish avoids the Gatorade tub. I guess he's got a little bit of that lateral speed. Maybe a little old to be out there running carries. An amusing moment.
I think if I was a coach, I'd always have an extra set of clothing.
Sounds like you would embrace that Gatorade bath. Well,
I probably would.
You know what? He may have missed the shower here, but who knows what might happen in the locker room or when they get back. Zimmerman might have something extra for him. But congratulations to the Thunder, the Section 6 4A champions for 2022. And for Orono, their season comes to an end. They will finish at 6-5. But they put in a fight all season long. Just came up a little bit short tonight, but I'd say in more ways than one, they made progress.
Yep, real good football team. You know, we'd seen them at their highest. We'd seen them very successful, and even though they're not coming out on the great end of things tonight, Orono should be very proud of this season.
They certainly are, as the captains are receiving the trophies, and as they do, this is it for us with live football coverage, but of course you can follow the Orono Activities YouTube channel. Our sports coverage certainly isn't done as we make the transition to winter sports, basketball, hockey. There's a lot to look forward to with Orono High School, and we certainly invite you to follow along as the Zimmerman Thunder pick up their trophy. It's going to be a fun ride back up north for the Thunder and for Orono. This will sting tonight, but I go back to a line that Ted Lasso has told his players.
Yep.
Yes, everyone's favorite coach of Richmond AFC, be a goldfish. And for some of these Orono players, like we said, Nash Dickey, he's going to play college football. Others will have winter and spring sports commitments. So, okay. I thought we were under attack for a moment. I think people have had my fill of pop culture references. They're coming for me.
Right. That's it. You're cut off.
Well, I'll go back into the fifth dimension where I belong as long as as long as I don't say my name backwards, that is. Whatever dimension that is.
Right.
All right. I think on that note, it's time to bid farewell for now. Thank you for joining us this season with Orono High School football. For Jody Raylander and the rest of our crew, I'm Mike Peden. We invite you to come back in 2023. But until then, thank you for watching.
Good night.